One day, Milton, the Streamline Express engine, was sent on a very unusual job. He was chosen to take a summer camp on a field trip to tour the mines. Milton was okay with the fact that he wasn't pulling freight cars, but didn't like having to travel slowly up the branch line. He was chosen specifically for the job because the children thought that he looked cool. When Milton arrived at the mine, the children jumped out of the passenger cars, ready to start their tour. Milton groaned. "I hope this doesn't take too long," he said to himself. "Hello," said a voice. "I've never seen you before." Milton looked over and saw a small yellow narrow gauge engine pulled beside him. "I'm Greg. Who are you?" "I'm Milton," said Milton grandly. "Oh, I've heard your name before. The engines that come up here often talk about you." "Well, why are you here?" "I was taking that summer camp on a trip today. They chose me specifically because of my style. But no offense to you," Milton added, "I don't fancy being stuck in a mine all day." "Would you mind shunting some freight cars for us?" Greg suggested. "Oh, most certainly not. I don't even collect my own passenger cars." Milton looked at his surroundings. A fenced-off area caught his eye. The ground appeared to be sunken. "What happened over there?" asked Milton. "It's a very interesting story," Greg said. "I could tell you. It could help pass the time." "It certainly beats shunting or sitting here in silence. Go ahead, Greg. Tell me your story." "All right," Greg obliged. And this is the story Greg told him. Greg, along with his younger sister Sally, worked deep in the mines. They ferry the workers around, take the minerals, move dynamite, cables, supplies, and other things the miners might need. One morning, Kevin arrived with a new engine to work with them. Kevin pushed the freight car to the siding where it was lifted onto its rails. "Hello," said the new engine. "I'm Tyson. Who are you?" "I'm Sally, and this is my brother Greg." "Have you worked in a mine before?" Greg asked. "No, I haven't," answered Tyson. "I've only been tested around the plant, but they told me a little bit about how a mine works." "Well then," said Sally, "let's get started." From the door, things went wrong. Tyson raced through the mines at very dangerous speeds. He thought the goal was to get the jobs done as fast as possible. He even bumped freight cars around. Greg and Sally weren't going to stand for this and confronted him immediately when they had a chance. "Did a rock hit you on the head or something on the way in?" Sally asked. "No," Tyson retorted. "What made you ask such a question like that? And how dare you insult me?" "I don't blame her for the way you're acting," huffed Greg. "How I'm acting? What are you talking about?" "You're racing through these tunnels like a maniac. We have to be safe down here." "As slow as you work, we'll never get things done." "But it's not the right way," Greg protested. "Look," said Tyson, calming down, "maybe I just work differently than you do. How about I do stuff my way and you do stuff your way?" Greg and Sally said no more. They figured there was no use arguing with him. They were hoping his carelessness wouldn't get anyone hurt, or worse, killed. About a week later, Greg was reversing down one of the tunnels pushing some freight cars. He was being reckless as usual and wasn't paying attention. If he had, he'd have seen the wheelbarrow that someone had left on the line. By the time he did notice it, he was going too fast to stop. "Whoa, whoa, whoa, look out!" he shouted. His driver put on the brakes, but it was too late. The last car had hit the wheelbarrow, jumped the tracks, and slammed into the side of the tunnel. Just then, everyone heard a rumbling noise. "Everybody out!" shouted one of the miners. "The tunnel's gonna collapse!" The miners working in the damaged tunnel quickly ran for their lives. Tyson's driver got out and tried to uncouple him, but he was too nervous with little rocks falling around him. So he decided to run too. "Wait!" called Tyson. "What about me?" But his driver didn't turn back. Tyson was getting nervous. The ground began to shake and more rocks began to fall. Soon, with an almighty crash, the tunnel gave way completely, and everything disappeared in a cloud of dust. Thankfully, all the miners in the tunnel were accounted for, and only a couple had minor injuries and had to be treated in the medical cars. Although only one part of the mine had collapsed, everywhere had to be evacuated. Milton was speechless. What happened next? He asked. Well, replied Greg, the mine had to be closed for several days. Every tunnel had to be inspected after that. And after a week of inspection, we were able to all go back to work. How long did it take to repair Tyson? Milton wanted to know. He wasn't repaired, Greg answered. You mean he was scrapped? Stuttered Milton. No, he wasn't scrapped either. Okay, huffed Milton. If he wasn't scrapped and he wasn't repaired, what happened to him? Well, when they went to inspect the mines after the accident, they went to see Tyson. They concluded it would be way too difficult and dangerous to try to move him, and figured it would be best just to leave him there. That's such a shame, Milton sighed. Believe it or not, even under all that rubble, he's still being really useful. When we have an orientation for new miners, they go visit the tunnel where he's stuck. It shows the new recruits the dangers of working in the mine and the importance of safety. In every orientation, Tyson tells the miners the story from his perspective on how he was careless and how it got him into that mess. Milton again was lost for words. Soon the campers arrived back to board the passenger cars. I guess that's my cue to leave. Thank you, Greg, for telling me your story. It certainly did pass the time. Thank you for visiting, Greg smiled. Goodbye. Milton reversed down the branch once the conductor gave him the signal. He now had a new respect for mines.